And good Wednesday morning. I am meteorologist Ben Peine here in the Extol Media Studios in Uptown, New Albany on this Wednesday, WINS Day out at Churchill Downs. And crew from here will be heading out there later today. I was out on the backside this morning. I've got some pictures and some video to show you, give you some of the ambiance from the backside of Churchill Downs and kind of a sneak preview of some of the Derby horses as well. So we'll take a look at that and then we'll dig into the forecast, of course. We'll have a chance for a couple of showers and thunderstorms today. I've got it at about a 30, maybe 40% chance. Can't rule out a passing shower at some point during the day, but it looks like late afternoon, early evening would be the best chance for some spotty pop-up showers here on this Wednesday, April the 30th. Our final day of April, which has been kind of a wild month of weather with the severe weather off the top of the month, the flooding, got a little break in the middle, and then we've had some active weather here recently with the showers and thunderstorms that we had last night. Thankfully, didn't see many reports of damage as that went through. Did cancel my daughter's tennis match up in Henryville. She got her match in, though, real quick. And then my son was pitching up in West Washington. I was happy that storm came in. I'll just say he was battling against his travel ball buddies up at Dub Dub and could have used a little help, I'll just say, there in the second inning, getting out of that inning. So my friends up in West Wash, you guys were playing pretty good there in that second inning. All right, so we are going to show you the preview of the backside of Churchill Down, what was happening out there. I was out there this morning at around, I think I got there around 5:45 this morning, so an early start to the day, no doubt about that. Getting some good mornings out there on this Wednesday. Good morning. Have a blessed day. Judy, Tyndall, thanks for watching here this morning. Beverly Haggis from Borden, Indiana. Josh, are you going to get a chance to go to Churchill Downs this week? So I was out there this morning, Josh, and got to run into some old friends and coworkers. You really just don't know who you're going to run into out there on the backside. Tim Cron got rained out in Charlestown. Yeah, I did my best to try to keep us dry and was trying to help out some athletic directors and the timing there, and let's give it a shot. And we got half ball games in, half matches in for the most part, just dependent on your location. The storms were very strong up around Salem, Indiana, Bedford. And then as they came into Borden, we got some strong winds. Some branches were coming off the trees, but then it kind of fell apart. We didn't get a whole lot of rainfall out of that. And then they kind of blossomed back up over central and southeastern Kentucky. So right in the middle is kind of strange as the storms moved towards the river. They did kind of fall apart there. So here we are, a few minutes in. Let's get to the show and tell portion of our Ben at 10 here. And thanks for tuning in, by the way. Whether it be via our Facebook page, Meteorologist Ben Peine or Piney. They're both showing up right now. I've had the request into Meta. They're not changing it for some reason. Or on Extol Weather. We got the replay there. If you're watching the replay, thanks for tuning in this morning as well. Or in this afternoon or evening time, whenever you're tuning in, feel free to leave that comment, or Extol Media on YouTube. Give us the follow there. NWSB, one of our partners, giving some shout outs here, and they've got a couple of events I want to tell you about here coming up too. And Lions Roofing, they are super busy still from, I think, March's hailstorm that we had. And check out Libs Paving Company. Go to libspaving.com and check out. They might have some job openings for you if you're looking for that. And just a quick shout out to Brad Weddington, Weddington Custom Homes. Tune in next week. Looks like we'll be setting up Weddington Wednesdays, or Wednesdays with Weddington. He's going to help us out with some things around the home. So a couple things going on with NWSB before we get to, again, that show and tell from the backside. Any of your bags at any NWSB location, plastic bags, paper bags, tote bags, backpacks, duffel bags, lunch bags, all helping out Project Recovery. And then this Friday, it is Derby Julep Lemonade Day. That is May 2nd. That is coming up in just a couple days, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So during that 4-hour period at the NWSB Spring Street branch there in Jeffersonville. That is 228 Spring Street, Suite 104. You can spin the Derby wheel, enjoy cookies and free lemonade, and a special appearance by the NWSB Fun Truck. That is this Friday in Jeff. Stop by as we get ready for the Kentucky Derby. All right, back to what I was talking about here, the show and tell. This is journalism. It is the odds favorite right now. Right around 7 o'clock, just after 7 o'clock, that's when the non-Derby horses need to get off the track. So they start training at around 6, 7 o'clock, right before sunrise. And then at 7 is when the Derby horses come out. You know they're the Derby horses there because they have the yellow silks, and then the pink silks are the Oaks horses. So journalism was showing off before getting some runs in, I guess, a little bit of training this morning. That was Flying Mohawk. And this is Barber Road. Got real close to Barber Road there, and you can see one of the spires there in the background. This was Citizen Bull. And Citizen Bull and Rodriguez, two of Bob Bafford's horses. And this is after 3 years of a suspension from Churchill Downs. So Bob is back with a couple of horses. That is one of his. And then I saw Toby Keith. So Toby Keith passed away last year. But from what I've heard, he had a 30-year dream to have a Derby horse. And his, I think he's got Dream Walking Farms. So this is the first horse they've ever had out of that from Oklahoma. So I think it was last February, Toby Keith passed away. So his dream here coming true with Render Judgment. So a couple of the storylines that we're seeing out from the backside. I want to thank my buddy, financial advisor here out of New Albany, Andy Atchison, his son Cade. Got to spend some time together there on the backside of Churchill Downs. Again, you never know who you're going to run into back there. Oh, before we do that, got a couple of videos. I want to give you the sights and sounds, again, the ambiance coming from the backside this morning. So here, take a look at this. So those are some of the, again, the Derby horses getting their workouts in this morning. Beautiful there. I was standing right underneath that big, the big board, the video board there, right underneath it with that view there. So it's actually very, very peaceful out there this morning. Then let me go ahead and get the Atchisons out of the way. They don't want that much live stream time. So,
You do. You let them work it out.
So that was a horse on the loose. It happens. I mean, every time I've been back there on the backside, I think I've been back there about 17 years in a row. The alarms go off to alert everybody, hey, watch out. We got a horse letting the zoomies out. So let me show that again. And actually, it missed the truck, but it kicked the trash can over behind the truck. So I'll show you this one more time. Take a close look in the very beginning here.
You do. You let them work it out.
But they ended up getting the horse, and everything was all right. And then, again, this is when the horses were first heading out. They get to kind of parade around the media. And this, I believe, Bob Bafford's couple of horses that he has. So that's Rodriguez there. And then Citizen Bull. A couple of Bob Bafford's horses. Again, he's been back from 3 years being out of the Derby. All right, and then finally, some people there are a lot of bets going on. So there is the odds favorite, 3-1, journalism, showing off. on this Wednesday morning out at Churchill Downs. WINS, Wednesday. So again, just a beautiful morning out there, very peaceful, almost no wind. Thankfully, we did stay dry out there this morning as well. Speaking of dry or not dry today, I just want to pull up a look at the current radar and satellite. There's a couple of rogue showers here off to the southwest. So again, we might get that isolated passing shower really at any point today. I've got a 30% chance on it. Maybe up that to about 40% chance as we head into the afternoon hours. I would say after around 5, 6 p.m., we'll have a little better chance of some spotty showers moving through the area. So just a little disturbance here, kicking up a couple of these little showers. One of them on the Breckenridge and Meade County line around Irvington right now. But we're seeing just a little bit of weather there, as you can see. Not much impactful weather for today. So hopefully we can dodge most of that if you are planning to head out to Churchill Downs on this Wednesday. Okay, back to the forecast we go here for today. That forecast high, warm and humid out there again today with that high up to 80 degrees and a few afternoon storms and maybe that rogue shower as well. Those winds at around 5 to 10 miles per hour for today. Sunset at 8:32, 8:33, right around there. Just going to pop up these comments in case I missed anything. So we do have that high levels of tree and grass pollen. We've got a planting question here, I believe. Morning, Ben. I get my tomato plants in the garden this weekend. Yeah, you're in good shape. I don't see any frosty chances, so I think we're in good shape. Heading into May, frost chances are super, super low here for us. Good morning from Vicki Berger in Salem, Indiana, and Alberta. Phil Pott, good morning to you. Angela Epperson, good morning so far. Have a good day. And Tammy Morton, a good morning. Thanks for popping in and joining the conversation this morning. Feel free, as always, to join in and ask any questions, suggestions, anything you want. All right, back to the forecast here. Here's that play ball forecast. Can't rule out a shower or thunderstorm passing through. Any shower basically cancels a tennis match, because you just can't play with a wet surface. But if it's a passing shower or thunderstorm, might have a brief lightning break if it's baseball or softball, then you can get back after it. So that's it. I don't think it's going to be a big blob of rain across the area. These are going to be just kind of spotty as they develop a little bit later this afternoon into the early evening time. Again, overall today, that chance of rain about 30%. That means most of today will be dry. Barb Rainbolt. Did I bet on Derby yet? I have not bet yet, but I just like the names of, I think it's Tiztastic and Owen Almighty for some reason. But got to see Journalism up close and personal, and some of the other Derby horses, Citizen Bull, Rodriguez. All right, so there's our sunset 8:33, and tonight's forecast low at 66 degrees. Can't rule out a shower tonight passing through, mostly cloudy. Pretty light wind overall, south wind at around 5 to 10. Yesterday we had those winds blowing around 15 to 30, warm wind. Kind of felt like being by the ocean, if you pretended at least. Tomorrow the winds will be about the same, southwest around 15 to 30 miles per hour. Tomorrow, more widespread chance of showers and thunderstorms across the area. It could be in the morning and the afternoon. If you have plans to be out and about, bring that rain gear, ponchos out there at Churchill Downs for Thurby tomorrow. Here's that forecast in more detail. Heading into May 1st, again, our last day of April here. Tomorrow, a good chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms from time to time. Not a total washout, but definitely going to be those periods of some wet weather. Could come with some locally heavy rainfall in the afternoon as we warm up to near 80 degrees. That could fuel a few storms that are on the strong side with maybe some isolated damaging winds, frequent lightning, and some hail. Tornado threat very low. We'll look at the Storm Prediction Center's outlook, and we'll look at the weather model data here as well in just a moment as we, again, dig deep into those weather models. 74 our normal high, 54 our normal low, so a bit above that. And you notice that humidity was very high. The humidity levels have not changed. It is a little bit on the soupy side out there for today once again. Again, almost felt like you were on the beach if you closed your eyes and just kind of pretended. 7-day forecast here. We've got that 80% chance with a high of 80 degrees tomorrow. 75 with some spotty, I think mostly light rain showers Friday for Oaks. So still might want the ponchos out there. All right, here's the deal with Saturday for Derby Day. The GFS is the most optimistic weather model out there right now. Has maybe a couple of sprinkles, some clouds around in the morning time for the morning hours. The gates open up for the Kentucky Derby. By the afternoon, it has drier air moving in, sunshine returning, highs in the 60s. So I have plopped on there a 20% chance of a morning sprinkle. Still optimistic will dry out in the afternoon. And then 70 and sunshine Sunday. All right, we all need to hope for the GFS weather model. It keeps us dry through pretty much all of next week. The European weather model, a little more pessimistic. It cuts off an upper level low pressure system, which means it's cut off from the jet stream. It can't move. So it gives us these little clouds and showers from time to time into early next week. It is the most pessimistic weather model. The Canadian weather model has that upper level low cutting off but farther away. The most optimistic weather model is the American GFS weather model. Go America, go GFS. We want a quiet week ahead. So we'll see what it plays out. Right now there is some discrepancy in the long range weather model data. So I'll put that out there right now. Still big question marks kind of past the next few days. Got a couple more good mornings there. Good morning from Mimi Jo Banks. Thanks for watching here. And Vicky says, I like the looks of Citizen Kane. Citizen Bowl, I think is the name of it. Love the neckline. Yeah, I'll put the pictures back up in case you popped in a little bit later. Again, I was out on the backside this morning and got some pretty cool pictures and video out there. All right, we're going to bring up the radar and satellite again and the current conditions that we have across the area. And look at the weather model data, then we'll do kind of a recap here of the forecast as well. So there is what we have out there now. Again, just a couple little these spotty showers off to the southwest. Hopefully most of us will dodge that little bit of activity as we head through midday, heading closer to southern Indiana. Going to bring up a little broader view. Let me go ahead and turn off the live radar so we can look at the broader view. So more active weather that you can see off to the west and southwest. We're going to see more of that active weather heading our direction tomorrow. So we'll probably have a couple batches of some wet conditions out there from time to time for our Thursday. Today, I think we're far enough away that it'll be mostly dry throughout the daytime. Definitely being optimistic for today. The day one severe weather risk here, let me go ahead and turn off the radar so we can see that a little bit better. And let me turn off the satellite. So from the Storm Prediction Center, we are mostly under level 1 out of the 5 severe weather risk categories. So late afternoon, early evening, as we get a couple thunderstorms to pass through, we may have just enough energy to get a strong thunderstorm. The severe weather threat for today is very low. And again, that slight risk of severe storms, that's level 2 out of 5, begins in around Salem, over towards Paoli and Bedford. But most of southern Indiana under the lowest level of severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center. And so that includes Floyd County, Clark County, Charlestown, Scottsburg, up to Austin and Seymour and Madison. So west of 65, just a slightly better chance of a few stronger thunderstorms. The better chance for an outbreak of severe weather is down over northeast Texas, southwest Arkansas, and southeastern Oklahoma for today. So that is today's Storm Prediction Center severe weather outlook. Day 2 for tomorrow, a slight risk of severe storms for our area. So a little better chance for more of us to see a few of those stronger thunderstorms for tomorrow. So that is day 2. That is your Thursday, Thurby. 2 out of the 5, level 2 out of the 5 severe weather risk categories. This is called a slight risk of severe storms. So may have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings, maybe perhaps with some damaging wind gusts, hail, heavy rain, frequent lightning. This will most likely be afternoon, evening time for tomorrow. Back that up, day 3 is super, super low of any severe weather. In fact, we're just talking about some spotty light rain showers for Oaks there on Friday. Let me bring up the future reflectivity, the future radar view here. And we'll go to the weather model data. We got the NAM 3 kilometer loaded up. Let me go ahead and bring up first the HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh weather model. These models did pretty good yesterday overall. I would give it to the HRRR as being a little more accurate yesterday, as it had that big blob of rain move over much of us right around 7 p.m. last night. Had a little bit of that early afternoon stuff as well. So I'll give the nod to the HRRR a little bit over the NAM 3 kilometer. I know we're getting in the weeds a little bit on the high resolution weather model data talk here, but this is your weather nerd portion of the show. So this does have a couple of these little rogue isolated showers at any given point today. This is at 2 p.m. And then there you can see that around 3, 4 o'clock, can't rule out a spotty shower. So you might have some work outside. Perhaps, I don't know what your industry might be, but hopefully it doesn't, it's not a canceling the outdoor work day kind of thing, just a passing shower. And there you can see that moves off to the northeast. That's at 4 p.m. And so overall, that's why I just give it about a 30% chance of rain. This is 7 o'clock, 8 p.m., 9 o'clock. So a couple of passing showers, maybe a couple of isolated showers or thunderstorms during the overnight hours as well. All right, I'm going to jump ahead to around sunrise tomorrow morning. Expand out our view just a little bit more here as well. Now we're going into about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. I think we'll see a little bit of a different version here on the NAM 3 kilometer. It's a little bit busier tomorrow morning as far as the rainfall. But if you want to believe this model, looks driest in the morning for your Thursday. So this is at 1 p.m. tomorrow, and then now we're starting to head into the afternoon. We're starting to see a low pressure storm system get closer to the area. It starts to give us the kick, and we're starting to warm things up. The air is unstable tomorrow, and this will give us that chance for more widespread scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. So this is your Thursday afternoon, 4 p.m. right here on May 1st. So occasional scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially tomorrow afternoon. Again, a few of those could be on the strong side. That's at 7 p.m. tomorrow, 8 p.m. right there. So tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, some active weather moving across the area. That's at 10 p.m. and 11 o'clock. So might pick up an inch or two of rainfall. I don't think this is going to cause any river flooding or anything like that. At least the Ohio River, those big rivers, maybe smaller creeks might rise up a little bit. But we can handle 1 to 2 inches, especially now that we're in the heart of the growing season. We got the grass growing, we got the trees, shrubs soaking up that water. It's not just running off. So that definitely helps this time of year. All right, so there's some more of that rainfall there for tomorrow night. I'm going to switch this over into the NAM 3 kilometer. We're going to back this up to basically right now. We'll start this at 11 o'clock, which we're only about 37 minutes from 11 o'clock. It is initializing pretty good, I would say. So this is just about a half hour from now. It's picking up on just a little bit of that activity off to the southwest, which is there in the real world as well on the radar. It shows more rain to the west of us today overall. This is at noon. Here's 1 p.m. Basically kind of like the HRRR weather model, just calling for a passing isolated shower, giving it overall about a 30% chance of that rain. We've got a good morning here from Jeanette Pierce. Thanks for tuning in here. And Sheila Milburn, a little rain in the forecast, but overall looking good. I would agree with that. The farmers need the dry weather so they can plant their crops. That's why we need to bet on the GFS weather model, Beverly Hagist, because it is the driest as we head through next week. That's at 4 o'clock today, right there. And then I'm going to go right here. This is around 6 p.m. So this is pretty consistent with what I saw early this morning and around 5 a.m. and then also last night. That we have this kind of a warm front lifting back to the north and popping up some spotty showers and thunderstorms as we head toward early evening. This is around 7 p.m. So if we do increase that rain chance, I think it's with this kind of little broken line of some spotty showers and thunderstorms moving up from the south late afternoon, early evening. That's around 8 p.m. So it's a little more robust, I would say, than the HRRR weather model. Again, I give the nod to the HRRR, the HRRR yesterday. We'll see if this develops for this afternoon. With all this said, with overall small chance of showers and thunderstorms, just keep the umbrella handy and might have to head inside for a brief period of time if a shower or storm pops up. Doesn't look like the big blob that was over southern Indiana and parts of central Kentucky yesterday evening. And then I'll pass off to the north. That's around 10 p.m. And then we'll jump ahead to tomorrow morning at around sunrise with the NAM 3-kilometer weather model. And you can see it has more active weather, as I mentioned, for tomorrow morning. So that would be a wet start to Thursday, Thurby right there. I'll stop it here at 10 a.m. So that's 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. It has a batch of some showers and thunderstorms moving through. It has been consistently showing that. The other high-resolution weather model is a little bit drier. We can also look at the WRF weather model if you want here in a second too. And then into the afternoon, it is similar to the HRRR weather model, as it also has scattered showers and thunderstorms as we recharge the atmosphere with that warm and moist air across the area. The humidity will still be there. That's at 4 p.m. tomorrow. And then here is at 5 o'clock, ramping up the rain and storm chances across the area here at 5 p.m. tomorrow. So it looks like occasional showers and thunderstorms in the works. And again, low tornado threat with this. You're looking at isolated damaging winds, lightning, thunder, heavy rain, maybe some small hail out of that as well. That is your 5 o'clock tomorrow. I am going to see how far out we go. So we're going to jump ahead to May 2nd. So this would be Oaks. And it has some little bits and pieces here, if you notice, of some light rain showers here for Oaks morning. Take this to around lunchtime, Oaks. Some spotty light rain showers overall for the most part. This here is at 2 p.m. and that's as far out as the NAM 3-kilometer goes. Still keep a little bit of that rain gear just in case for Oaks. And still mild in the mid-70s for Friday afternoon, May 2nd. Jay Case, thanks for tuning in here. Thanks for the update. You are welcome, Jay. Thanks for tuning in. So that's the weather model data. Let's look at, we can look at the WRF real quick as well. We'll back this view up. We're going to zip through this, and we've already looked at a bunch of that weather model data. Actually, that's a little bit old for my liking. All right, so this is 11 o'clock with the WRF weather model. Let's see if it'll load up here with the reflectivity. There we go. Very similar solution. Looks like from the HRRR, it shows probably the most rain this afternoon. Not sure if I'm buying that one, but that is around 6 o'clock. So yeah, kind of spotty today. Give it about a 30% chance overall of that shower or thunderstorm. Let's look into the higher resolution GFS weather model, and we're gonna jump ahead to May 3rd, Derby Day. In the morning time when the gates would be opening up. This is at 8 a.m. May 3rd for Derby Day. And that's what we want to see. We want to see that rain scooting off to the east of us so we can clear things out. There, all right, so that's 11 o'clock in the morning. So that indicates to me there could be a sprinkle, there could be a few morning clouds around. And Jason Chad's here, by the way, if you want to grab him. So that is in the morning time. Let's go into the afternoon. And this is Derby time, rains off to the east. Hallelujah, that's what we want right there. Clearing it out. Again, that's not quite the case with the European weather model. It shows still pretty good chance of some showers around. It is the most pessimistic weather model. We're not going to think about that right now. We're going to root for the GFS weather model for our Saturday and for the rest of the weekend and into next week. The GFS, definitely the warmest weather model of all of the weather models. All right, so that is the weather model data. Well, let me take a look at the forecast here. And we'll also take a peek, if you're coming in a little bit late, to my time on the backside this morning. I'll go ahead and bring that. We're going to bring this one up, add that one, and we'll bring it up full screen. So that is Journalism, the odds favorite horse this morning at 7 o'clock. The yellow silks, that indicates a Derby horse. They, at 7 o'clock, they get free reign, pun intended, of Churchill Downs to get their workouts in from around 6 to 7 before sunrise. That's when the non-Derby horses are out there. And then at 7 o'clock also the pink silks, the Oaks horses, are also out there. That's Flying Mohawk and then Barber Road. And that's Citizen Bull. That's one of Bob Baffert's horses. His other one, Rodriguez, after 3 years suspension, he is back with 2 horses. And then saw Toby Keith's Render Judgment horse. It was Toby Keith's dream of 30 years to have a Derby horse. And so the dream come true after he passed last year, unfortunately. Out there with some friends, Andy Atchison, his son Cade. And we were out on the backside underneath the big billboard, and we turned around to kind of head back to the front. And we got a little bit of excitement as one of the horses broke loose. And so take a look. Oh!
You do. You let him work it out.
And kind of a common sight out there. I think every Derby on the backside, Derby week on the backside, it just happens. Get their zoomies out, as I put on Facebook a little bit earlier. I'm going to play that again. If you watch in the beginning, the black truck gets spared, but he takes out the trash can. A nice kick in the trash can. Here, check it out one more time. Oh!
You do. You let him work it out.
But it all worked out. They got the horse. And then here's just some more sights and sounds from this morning on Wednesday, WINS. We're hoping. So this was my view from, again, underneath that big billboard out there, looking at the Twin Spires. It was real peaceful out there, light winds, mostly cloudy. It was all dry. Thankfully, we haven't had a whole lot of rain out there this week, so it wasn't too muddy as I was wearing my white Vans out there for some reason. I'm pretty good at choosing the wrong clothing choice on most events. Got made fun of a little bit for my white shoes out there. All right, then lastly here we've got actually got a couple more videos. Bob Baffert's horses, Citizen.
Welcome back.
So that there is Rodriguez. Again, right around 7 o'clock in the morning, kind of a tradition. They parade the horses around, show them off. Here's Citizen Bull. Not quite sure their odds, but Journalism you'll see next. That is the odds favorite right now. And then here is Journalism.
Very great.
All right, some beautiful horses there as we gear up for Derby Day. Now, here is, again, a recap of the forecast here for today. 80 degrees, warm and humid like yesterday, not as windy, winds at around 5 to 10. Few afternoon pop-up showers or thunderstorms will be possible. High levels of grass and tree pollen out there for us. And we are looking at, for that play ball forecast, cannot rule out late afternoon, early evening, passing shower or thunderstorm. Not as widespread as the rain that we had yesterday. So, if you're playing baseball or softball, hopefully it passes on through. Even if you get it, maybe it's just a brief break in the game. Obviously, if it's tennis or something where rain completely ends the match, hopefully you just do a complete dodge of that little rain chance later on today. Sunset's at around 8:33 now. In that forecast for tonight, low temperature at around 66 degrees. It'll stay mild, almost like an early summer-like night. Can't rule out an isolated shower tonight. And the winds will stay light at around 5 to 10. Now, tomorrow the winds are going to pick up, and it will be a breezy day for Thurby with a higher chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Could have a round in the morning, could have another round in the afternoon. Localized threat, isolated threat of some damaging wind, maybe some hail, heavy rain, lightning, and thunder. So a slight risk of severe storms tomorrow afternoon, 76 at noon, 80 degrees that high temperature. And so a bit above normal. Our normal high, bottom left, 74, normal low, 54. Our sun up at 6:46 and sun setting tomorrow at 8:34. So moral of that story, bring those ponchos for your Derby day. In the 7-day forecast, keeping just a small chance of a few sprinkles in that forecast for Derby day in the morning, maybe some clouds. Trying to get some drier air to clear out those clouds in the afternoon Saturday. Looks a bit cooler. That's our coolest day with a high of 67. Before that for Oaks, 40% chance of mainly some spotty light rain showers, a high of 75. It will be comfortable out there. The wind should be lighter on Friday than tomorrow. Again, some of the wind gusts tomorrow could be up around 30 miles per hour. And then Sunday, 70 degrees. Now, I'm leaning and I'm rooting for the GFS American Weather Model, as it is the driest weather model. It clears us out for the weekend. It keeps us dry through pretty much all of next week. Now, the European weather model, it keeps an upper-level low-pressure system nearby. Upper level low pressure. And what that means, it is cut off from the jet stream, and it's just kind of sitting and spinning and spilling some clouds and some occasional rain showers at us. It kind of keeps it there through early next week. The Canadian weather model is kind of in between the European and the GFS. It has the cutoff low, but it has a little farther away, and it has a little bit drier. GFS weather model has it all scooting off to the east of us and has us dry. With all that said, we don't know 100% which one will be reality, but just kind of keep that in mind, that the GFS is the weather model that we want at this time. We'll wrap this up with a few comments here. JK says, my money's on the horse that broke loose. That horse has some spunk. There you go. And then Vicky Berger, Citizen Bull, rather. Yeah. And Vicky also, I love the sound of them running. Happy to be out there this morning. Again, I was out there around 5:45 this morning until 7:30, a couple hours out there, seeing some old coworkers and friends out there on the backside. Lillian Lasley, hi Ben, thanks for the updates. Thanks for tuning in here this morning. And we have Marilyn Stewart from Dudleytown. Those horses are amazing. Have a blessed day. I think that's a great way to wrap up here as we approach 40 minutes of Ben at 10 on this Wednesday, WINS Day, Wednesday out at Churchill Downs this morning. And the crew here from Extol is about to head out there. So if you do see us out at the track, feel free, come up, say hi, let's get a picture. Let's put it right here on the show. We got one more comment. This might be the last one. Good morning. Thanks for showing the horses. They are so pretty. Linda Anderson, thanks for that comment, and thanks for watching here. Again, thanks for watching. If it's the replay later this afternoon or this evening, feel free to comment. I look over those comments different times of the day. Happy to provide some answers if I'm able to do that for any of your weather questions. Thanks for tuning in on my Facebook page or Extol Weather Facebook page or Extol Media on YouTube. Love to get those YouTube numbers up, so please head over there, hit the like, the subscribe, and we'd love to see you there live or the replays. And again, a special thanks to our partners, NWSB, Lions Roofing, Libs Paving Company, Weddington Custom Homes, and NWSB, again, if you weren't watching a little bit earlier, has a couple of events going on right now. Community Matters here. You can donate any of your bags here at any NWSB, plastic bags, paper bags, tote bags, backpacks, duffel bags, lunch bags. This helps Project Recovery, any NWSB location. Now in Jeffersonville, this Friday, it is Derby Julep Lemonade Day. 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. May 2nd. Head to NWSB Spring Street, 228 Spring Street, Suite 104 in Jeffersonville. You got to spin the wheel, enjoy cookies, free lemonade, special appearance by the NWSB Fun Truck. So thanks to our partners. And do we have a couple of last minute? Can you give a quick update about Thurby? Yeah. Alfreda, if you missed it, plan on scattered showers and thunderstorms, not a total washout. Mild though, we're looking at upper 70s, around 80 degrees. Still that warm, humid air that we have out there today. Today it's a kind of a smaller 30% chance of an isolated passing shower or storm. Tomorrow there's just a much higher chance, about an 80% chance of those scattered showers and thunderstorms. We could have a batch in the morning move through, maybe a little bit of a break midday before later in the afternoon, evening tomorrow, more scattered showers and thunderstorms. So just a wetter day overall for Thurby. Have that rain gear ready to go. Vicki Berger, have a wonderful day. You all have a wonderful day. Tune in tomorrow for our May 1st, Thursday, Thurby edition of Ben at 10, same place and same time. Have a great day and good luck out there.